Come on, try to get the lead. Slow down for turn one. No heroics at the T1. Here they come. Here we go. The driver's off doing a fantastic start. The Force who takes the lead.
Locked in this cage, I've been stuck here for days and I can't seem to let you go. You pull me up and I put you down. You gave me love, then I stole your crown. You let me in, then I pushed you out. Pushed you out, pushed you out. Come let me make up for all these days. I've been a mess tied by all these chains. Open my eyes now, I finally see. Shut up, please. Yeah, can we be free? Everything but you next to me. I know that I've been the enemy, but I've had my moment to play, moment to play. Lost in the ceiling, caught up in this feeling, I can't seem to let it go. Locked in this cage, I've been stuck here for days and I can't seem to let you go. You pull me up and I put you down. You gave me love, then I stole your crown. You let me in, then I pushed you out, pushed you out, pushed you out. Don't let me break up for all these days. I've been a mess tied by all these chains. Open my eyes now, I finally see. Shut up, please.
Welcome to Okayama. Located in Misano, Okayama, Japan. Originally called the TI Circuit Aida, the track was first opened in 1990. Named after the Tanaka International Company which developed it, it was later renamed to the Okayama International Circuit in 2005. The track is a 2.3 mile long circuit, has 13 corners, making it a tight and technical circuit. It's known for its tight, twisty nature, making it very different from the faster Japanese tracks like Suzuka and Fuji. The narrow width and sharp corners often lead to first lap incidents, especially at turn 1, and the hairpin in GT and Super GT. Avoid trouble early is key. Okayama has hosted many events, including Formula 1, the FIA GT Championship, Super GT, Super Formula, TCR, and more importantly for our story, the GT World Challenge Asia. In CMRSC, we have visited the track for the finale of championships such as the DTM World Championship in 2022 and 2023, and more recently, the GT World Challenge powered by AC in 2024. Some challenges that GT3 drivers go through at the circuit are tire wear. The track has many slow corners, putting extra stress on the rear tires, so managing them with degradation is crucial in long races. The narrow track width, with Okayama's narrower than many modern circuits, makes for clean overtakes potentially difficult. And weather factor. The region is known for its sudden rain showers, making wet weather driving skills important. Okayama is such a fan favorite, as with these short, high-intensity races with constant action, frequent safety cars due to close racing and narrow track limits, and a mix of international and Japanese teams competing at the circuit, Okayama is a sight to behold. We have seen some amazing battles over the years at Okayama, so here are some of the best corners to watch the action. Turn 1. The first corner, it's a right-hander. It's a high-speed corner leading into a heavy braking zone. Overtaking can happen when a driver gets a strong exit from the main straight and dive up the inside. However, the risk you're getting from that is running wide onto the outside curves can cost positions. Turn 10. The outward curve is a long right-hander leading onto the back straight. Overtaking can happen before or after this corner, and if a driver gets a better exit, they can challenge onto the back straight and into the hairpin. But too much throttle can cause wheel spin and lose momentum as you head up the hill to the back straight. Turn 13, the final corner. It's a tight right-hander. Overtakes are possible if a driver can force a mistake on entry. That means a strong exit is crucial for a run onto the main straight onto turn 1, but the risk you're getting is a poor exit can ruin the entire next lap and won't allow any sort of counterattack. In the world of Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, this will be host to the 8th and final round of the 2025 CMRSC GT World Challenge powered by the Racing Rats. What's not to love from round 7 at Indy? From crazy midfield battles to the massive 3-car fight for P2 that eventually had a moment where all 3 drivers went 3 wide, to even a final showdown between 2 rivals, it was easily the best round of the championship. So how do we even top that? By heading to the circuit where celebrations begin, and for those unfortunate, where dreams come to die. We are at Okayama for this finale, and while P1 in the championship is settled, we are still looking forward for the rest of the order and how battles will play out. With the top 5 all within a second and points still up for grabs to determine P2 and down the order, it will for sure be one to not miss. Formula 1 looms over Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club next, but we still have one more race to do it in GT. And as it stands for GT Racing, this is not the last championship of GT in 2025, as a certain spec series to follow Formula 1 that uses a specific German manufacturer. Nonetheless, it's time to start those engines for one final time, as the new era of CMRSC is ready for the finale of the GT World Challenge for the 8th race of 8 now at Okayama, as this is round 8, the Japanese GT3 Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, and it is time for the finale of this championship. We are live here for the Japanese Grand Prix here at Okayama. We're just 9 minutes away from getting qualifying underway, and then racing will get away very shortly. But what a journey it has truly been. Mike Van Doorn last round sealed the deal. He is the champion of the GT World Challenge. But we still have some amazing action left to go. P2 is still yet to be decided. And we have 2 amazing championship battles ahead of you for today's action. Today, we watch between the 2 drivers for P2. That is Peter Sabot against Sven Verkstein. Andy Rees and Mike Van Doorn not taking part. And it's very important for Andy Rees because his championship for P2 may be going down because Sven and Peter will be fighting for that. We'll take a close eye on them as we get into racing. The team championships also very close. Andy Master Racing is in trouble with 129 points as Escape Racing is coming up with just 106. That is Sven and Evan together. We're going to see what they can do if they can get P2 in this championship. Without further ado, as we see the drivers on track from this top-down perspective, let's go trackside. Let's watch the action. As we watch here, Peter Sabot in for his round. This final round of this championship. And can't wait to see what he does out here. He's currently the fastest driver here in practice with a 1:28.141. P2, Daniel Santos looks pretty good out there, really quick. Potentially could be the first race win in his CMRC career. The Portuguese driver gonna try to do it here around Okayama. Klaus Klint, P3 in the McLaren. McLaren has been really quick around here, so expect something good, especially for this Valhalla driver. P4, Evan Steinberg. He's looking pretty quick as well, so keep an eye on him. As he heads out on track, he is fighting for the Constructors Championship, the Team Championship for P2. Dominic, as he drifts his Mercedes around Sector 2 around this track. His second race here. First race didn't go too much into plan, but it was a start nonetheless, though, and it's time to continue that momentum. Next up, we have Martin Webster, who sits into the pits there. So X-Play is still looking pretty strong. Not championship contenders in this one, but nonetheless, though, he is still in the session here. Danny Nasir, RDN Racing in the CMRSC McLaren, has put in the third most amount of laps in the server, so hopefully we'll see some great results out of him in this final round. Kasper Krogsgaard makes his return here after a couple of weeks of a hiatus. He comes back on track in the Mercedes as he lasted at Bathurst. So the Danish driver will be putting on some performances and will be supporting the Andy Massey Racing camp. Marlon Young, next up, he's currently sitting in the pits. He's P9. Oliver Bloch, now P10 in the Ferrari, the other Danish driver here in this championship. Andy Massey Racing is going to have some work to do to keep up against Escape Racing. But what's good is that they are ahead of them in the championship. A newcomer here, Kasper Teziaki in the Mercedes. Polish driver will be making his debut out here as we have 5 minutes to go here in practice. Let's see what he can do on track. Next up, Enzo. He's rocking a brand new special one-off livery for this finale of the championship as, bins the Ferrari into a wall, unfortunately. But hopefully we'll be seeing what he can do on track when racing begins. Enzo with a brand new livery on track. Anderson Baiano in the Ford. He currently sits just at the back of the pit lane over there, and P14 on track. Andrew Rutner-Ryan in the Coca-Cola Ford, looking to try to see if he can get some success in this Ford one final time. And then Ian making his debut in Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club, and can't wait to see what he can do out here in the BMW. Sending his first couple laps here for today, but has been practicing all week long. Let's see if he can set a good race out here. That should be all the drivers at the moment. Could potentially see a field of 20 cars. We're just 4 minutes away for the beginning of qualifying. So qualifying coming up for the final time. Still a free point there. Klaus just running off track there in the gravel. Take a look at Evan there in his Ford, trying to look for this championship. So can't wait to see what he does. But this championship is not possible without the guys over at the Racing Rats. For the final time, thank you so much for allowing us to use your amazing, fantastic mods. Go support them, the Racing Rats. The last time we're going to be using these cars for this championship, but it's been an honor. These cars have been absolutely fantastic. As we head into this finale here, it should be a good one. Take a look at the other drivers up there. There you see another debut driver that I did not see as we were going through our order. This is Joshua Steinberg, and yes, that last name is the same as this man, Evan Steinberg. They are brothers. This is the older brother to Evan. So he's on track with a custom livery in his debut race as well. A lot of drivers making their debut in this final race of this championship. But really, all the hype is going to the next race coming up in 2 weeks' time. That is at Bahrain for the Bahrain Grand Prix in, Formula 1. F1 CMRSC for the first time ever in the championship. So truly cannot wait to see what goes down in 2 weeks' time. Remember the date. That's going on next month, March 8th. You do not want to miss a spectacular championship coming up with all your favorite drivers that you love to watch every Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We want to thank you all for 860 subscribers as we continue to grow. Our next goal is 900, so if you can, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It would mean a whole bunch if you enjoy the action. And join our Discord, linked in the live chat and the description. If you enjoy racing and you want to get in on this kind of league, it's completely free to get into. Formula 1's coming up. It's a great time to get in, that's for sure. The most popular motorsport in the world. But this is it. The final practice session of GT3 comes to an end in 37 seconds. And then we can begin this final round. One qualifying session coming up. And just looking at it, we are almost at a 20-car field here at Okayama. Very happy to see a huge turnout here, especially after last year at Okayama, where it was about half this field, essentially. Both Marlon Young and Klaus Clint just running off the track there, but very happy to see a great turnout this year in this new era of Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. And that is it. Checkered flag is out. Time is up here in practice. And right now, as it stands, it is Peter Sabot who has topped the timing sheets. So, awesome stuff here as we get into qualifying now. Practice is complete. Drivers are just quickly entering and exiting into the server here. Just a couple drivers having some quick little troubleshooting as we get into this one. All drivers are into the pits, as you see Dominic there with a 129.385 behind him. The Ferrari not setting in a lap there. Who else is on track? So Krogsgaard still on track here. And that is it. Here we go. Alright. Welcome, everyone, to the final round of the championship. We're about to get underway. I do only see 12 of us here in the chat. But nonetheless, though, we're going to get everybody in here once we get onto the grid. Final qualifying session. Seeing a grid of about 20 cars. So that is very awesome. And, yeah, one final time. Let's get this one underway here. For this final race of the championship, I've put out just in the general chat there the two championship battles for the drivers and team standings for P2. 45 seconds. One quick suggestion, make sure you test out your pit stops. Just come in once here in qualifying, run through the pits properly. Make sure you find the line so you know where exactly to slow down, and that is 80 kilometers. I'll talk to you guys again as soon as qualifying's done. 28 seconds. Best of luck to you. Final qualifying session. 1 point for pole position. And this is it. 20 seconds left to go here before qualifying. We're about to get this one underway. One final qualifying session here for the championship. And this is it. You hear the cars rolling, and now you see them go. This is the final round of the championship. Welcome to qualifying as all the drivers start to scurry out the pit lane to begin this one. Who is going to be taking the final pole position of the year? Okayama is the place to be for this final round of the championship. It's always been the final stop of the first championship of the year. Debuted as the DTM championship back in 2022. The unforgettable fight between Sander van Leeuwen and Justin Nasir. After that, we had the dominance of Martin Toth in the foggy Okayama race in 2023. 2024 saw GT3 racing open up the year, so that meant Okayama was heading to a GT3 calendar. It ended off 1 point the difference where Luca Andretta took his championship win in GT3 racing, and now the championship has already been settled before we can get this one here at Okayama underway, but P2 in the championship is still yet to be figured out, but it will be right now. As Peter Sabot passes our screens here, we can start off this qualifying watching Peter Sabot set the first lap time on the board. Heading into turn 1. Hard on the brakes, getting it turned in. Early apex, accelerating out early on. Sweeping left-hander down into third gear and accelerating out using a bit of that exit curve, then through moss left and right, completely flat out. As soon as you want to finish the kink, brake at the 100-meter marker, down the gears, and then accelerating as you go up the hill and making the car as wide as possible. And now as we see him just over the crest of the hill, completely flat out on the back straight. These cars do up to 280 kilometers on the back straight, but heading into the hairpin section, the tightest corner of the track, get it slowed down completely, hug the inside line, and then snake through Piper's corner here on this short layout of the track. This is where it cuts through and accelerate out for the small short straight here. Hard on the brakes once again now as we start to go up the hill slowly. These double hairpin sections get a little bit wide and get it completely turned in here now as we start to accelerate with 2 more corners left to go. The double right-handers and 1 more corner to seal the deal off here. A little tighter than the first right-hander, use all the exit curve, and then race to the front straight and the line. The driver's going to be chasing a 1 minute 28.172. Drivers are still exiting out of the pit lane, but as we watch drivers come across the line, Enzo puts a time P3. Evan Steinberg goes P3 instead. 129.782. More drivers come across. Santos comes across 129.5. Couple more drivers here to come across the line. Casper now across the line as well, goes P6 131.4. Marlon Young to come across the line here. And no time is set, as well as his teammates. So invalid lap times there. More drivers to come up now. Here comes Ruben Ryan, Danny Nasir, Oliver Bloch. Danny goes P6, Oliver P7. So first bouts of laps are completed as we go back up to the leader of this pack, and he's purple in the first sector. Oh, and that's trouble there. That was one of the BMWs that just hit the wall there a bit violently. And we have a lineup of 21 cars in the server, so absolutely fantastic. So you're going to have a great fight around here. As we watch now, Peter Sabot, 2 corners left to go for him in the Audi. Took pole position in the last round at Indy. Can he go 2 for 2 for this final round? He comes onto the front straight once again and tries to look to take down his 128. 172. He comes across the line now, and he does so by a 10th quicker. It's a 128.063. So good lap time from him. Sven now is next to come across the line. Can he take down that lap time in the Lamborghini? He cannot. As we look now to the P3 man. Oh, he's about 3/10 down and runs off the track. So not only is that going to ruin his last lap, but it might ruin this next lap here. Gets it all wrong. Stephen Bola behind him goes to P8. And just 5 minutes left to go in the session. Peter Sabot, we're learning that he is quicker on this lap, as well as Sven. But Peter's a 10th quicker in that first sector. He's got to cross the second sector now, just after this corner. 58.3 to beat in the middle sector, and he just about is on the marker. Lost a little bit of time in the Audi, the Hungarian driver, Peter Sabot. Not only took pole position, but took a race win back at Indy last week. And now Peter really finding his footing out here. One corner to go for him. Around the final corner, beautiful exit, using minimal exit curb. Doesn't want to unstable the car. Peter across the line, quicker this lap, goes to the 27s. It's a 1:27.981. Here comes Sven this time now. In the Lamborghini, comes across the line, 28.320. Behind him, it's Evan, his teammate, goes to third. So, it's an Escape Racing P2, P3. Daniel Santos, can he spoil the party? Because Mercedes has already done so before him. Dominic Masuzzo, as he drifts his Mercedes around T1, goes up to third position. Incredible in his second race out. So Dominic with a 1:29.090. So good qualifying time so far, and they're still heating up because Peter Sabot is going quicker this lap. Once again, quicker in the first sector, as well as Sven. So the laps are constantly improving as more rubber gets laid down on the track, but he's a 10th up, almost a 10th up, once again. Ian just ahead in the BMW, gets it all wrong in the final corner, takes it straight to the pits, watches Peter Sabot behind him, knows that he needs to get out the way if he's on an invalid lap. Peter Sabot on the front straight, once again, can he put down his lap time? No, he doesn't, and I think that may have had to do with that BMW. Ian is not finding his footing around here in this final round. Very unlikely of him, of Peter. As meanwhile, Sven goes up to P2, finally getting that Lamborghini up there. Second place now. 2 minutes left to go, and track is still looking very busy. Dominic's been put down, another Lamborghini's gone up. Daniel Santos goes to third. 2 minutes left to go. And looks like P1 and P2 firmly sitting in pits, feeling like there's nothing left to improve from. And they might be staying in there for the rest of this qualifying session. We watch Santos. Daniel had an amazing Indy debut last week out, going 3 wide. That was the big talking point. He was not afraid to throw his Lamborghini into the pit of fire as he battled with the aliens of CMRSC. We asked in the beginning of the year who was going to be the next alien now that Luca's on a part-time schedule. Who was going to be the next man, the next face to beat in CMRSC, and Mike Van Dorn has swiftly taken that title back up. As you see Enzo just running off the track there as he was chasing down Dominic in that Mercedes. Just on your screen there. But here we see Steinberg's car now, as on our screens, the Ford, this beautiful blue and white Mustang, as he's currently sitting P5. Can he improve that lap time? No, he can't. Dominic goes into the pits, but we also look at Santos now. Can he improve his lap time? No, P3 for him. 35 seconds left to go. The top 4 in the pits. What does that say? Is that qualifying done for them? Can anybody take down their lap times? Well, let's see it though. 12 viewers, 12 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much for tuning into Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. You are watching the best league take on these amazing GT3 cars in Assetto Corsa for this final round of this championship. In 2 weeks' time, it's Formula 1. You do not want to miss F1 in Assetto Corsa in CMRSC. Checkered flag is out. Lap times are complete. A BMW is off the track. I believe that was Tuzwanto. And yes, it was. And Adam making his return out here. He's currently sitting P17 as he comes across the line there. Baiano next to come across the line. Behind him, it's Joshua Steinberg. We're going to watch both of them and see what they both do across the line here. This time by P12 for the Brazilian. Joshua does not improve his time. He's P15. P5 next to come across his brother now. Oh, and off the track! Go Steinberg! He may have just lost his lap there. Comes across nonetheless. Is it improvement? It's almost 2 seconds off. That is very unfortunate. He was very quick in the first sector as well. We watch Enzo now come across the line in the Ferrari. The special livery. P16 is only what he can do. Taziaki now and Webster next to come across the line. P10 for Taziaki. But unfortunately, Webster cannot do anything about it. P9 of Krogsgaard cannot do anything either. P11 now, Oliver Bluch coming around the final corner here. On board with him. Can he get into the top 10 now? Looks pretty good in his first 2 sectors. And he goes to 9th. That's a great lap from him. However, it's Peter Sabot who takes pole position in the final qualifying of the GT3 GT World Challenge powered by the Racing Rats. Sven takes P2. Daniel Santos takes 3rd position. What a final qualifying session that was for this championship. And you're going to see the full qualifying replay along with the pole lap in the next 2 days as we daily upload every day, coming out at 1 p.m. Let's go congratulate our drivers and let's go give them the final rundown as we head to the grid. All right, amazing qualifying there. Congratulations, your top 3, Peter, Sven, and Daniel. So I think we have everybody into the chat here. I think we're just missing one, so I'll still go over the rules here. So rolling start. So Peter and Sven, you'll be controlling the pace. It is 80 to 100 kilometers, staying 2 by 2. So as soon as the lights go out, it is a rolling start. It'll be one rolling start, 1 lap around, and you'll be waiting for race direction. That'll be myself, and you'll hear when we go green flag racing. No VSCs, no safety cars. We're just going to go straight racing. If there's an incident on track, try to keep your best to keep it going. It's a very long race. Anything and everything has happened. We've seen it for the past 7 rounds before this one. Am I cutting out? Give me 1 second. Anything and everything has happened. Well, the stream looks good. Could be your headphones there, Evan. But yeah, so rolling start. Peter and Sven will be the 2 drivers that will determine the pace. So they must keep it 80 to 100 kilometers. If you're behind those 2 drivers, then you're just following the pace for the driver ahead of you. We're going to make sure we get all drivers bunched up as we head into the last 2 corners. I'll give you guys that warning. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Confirm your last minute changes to your setup. This is a mandatory pit stop race, so you must come in once in this race to change your tires. Refueling, damage, fixing, completely optional, but you must come in, change your tires once in this race. It's been a fantastic championship, and we finally get to the end of it. Just making sure we have everybody here in the voice channel. I think we are just missing Lance, and then we should be good. So, minute and 40 seconds. This has been an amazing championship. Just want to personally say thank you so much for all the support. This start of the year has been absolutely phenomenal, and it couldn't have been done without all you guys. So thank you so much for all the support. Really hope you enjoyed this GT3 championship. It's been amazing. And Evan could be your headphones. Might have to restart Discord. I'm not too sure. You have a minute left. But yeah, it's been a great championship. P1's already been decided for both team and drivers championship. That's Van Dorn, so unfortunately could not make it here, but he already sealed the deal. P2 is still up for grabs. Okay, so I'm not too sure about the audio cutting out. I'll check it on my side. 33 seconds, guys. Best of luck. Make sure to hit the steering wheel. If you don't, you'll be teleported to the pits. Rolling start, 2x2, 80 to 100 kilometers. And let's get this one underway. 20 seconds left to go for this one here, for this final round of the championship. Let's do it here at Okayama. And we do it for one final time in the championship. What a year it has been for this season. GT3 racing at its finest. And we get to the final round of it here today. As all the drivers come around here at Okayama, we said it. This is where dreams are made and dreams come to die. As you have Ian George, who unfortunately, right, Ian, just catch up to the rear tail end of the field. There you have Ian just having some trouble there. Was not able to make it onto the grid, but an amazing championship. This one has been Peter Sabo and Sven will be your two drivers that we're going to be watching for in this championship for P2. Don't forget about the drivers behind them. Daniel Santos, he'll be a driver to watch. Dominic, amazing performance in qualifying. Evan as well, great performance. The drivers behind, just making sure audio levels are good. Evan's gonna be fighting for this P2 in this championship, but as we watch the drivers now come around, this is gonna be amazing, that's for sure. Let's get to the front of this field and watch the drivers here. 20 cars on track for this final round at Okayama. The biggest grid we've seen. 17 concurrent viewers. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, as this one's going to be a great one. Bets are off the table here as we get this one underway. Start to bunch up. Start to close up. Start to close up to the driver ahead. Start to close up to the driver ahead. We have some drivers just trying to catch up. Start closing up. Start closing up. We have a BMW just off there, but as we have majority of the drivers all stacked up here, 2x2. Green flag, green flag. And we're underway here for the final round of the championship. Let's go racing. Sabo leads this one. Sven to the inside, Daniel in the outside. Evan runs a little bit wide, 2-3 cars off the track in the background. Peter still leads it off. Daniel to the inside, it's contact with the two Lamborghinis. The Mercedes trying to find a way through. Can't get it done as they all start to file in, single file through. Martin Webster looks to the inside of Dominic. Side by side, Aston Martin, Mercedes. We also see the Ford trying to gain some momentum on the Lamborghini of Daniel Santos. I saw a couple incidents go on the back, but you look at the track map, everyone is looking swell. Peter leads this one. Sven P2, Daniel Santos third, and we're on board with P4. And that is the Mustang. As they all start to snake through this section here. And you see all the drivers now coming up through. Let's watch them as they start to snake up the hill. A little bit of a gap started being made. Some damage there on Taziaki's car. P12, P13, 14, 15. As they all go up and through the hill. They all come down through this section. And you see heavy pressure. Here's Webster. Gets the move done on Dominic. But that Mercedes is going to start to try and fight back. Let's go on board with them. Slipstream engaged on the front straight. The Mercedes looks to see if he can get a move, but the Aston Martin's looking very quick. Oh, but trouble there! And Dominic has outbraking himself, and he takes his car off the track. Probably not paying attention to the braking zone, and that's costing him a lot of positions. He goes from P5 to P12 in just one corner. Lots of time left to catch back up. That's the most important part. We also see Klaus and Danny Nasir. The two McLarens have been really strong around here. And we're just getting word that, unfortunately, Lensis here will have to miss this race. Had a power supply die on him. So a bit unfortunate for him. That's why we did not see him on the grid. We were waiting for him in the voice chat there for a moment. But as all these drivers now get onto the back straight, Bola and Steinberg. Joshua Steinberg goes through with Dominic once again, almost missing his braking zone, side by side through the tightest part of the circuit here. And that Mercedes has a great action as he's watching both cars. He already gets one of them. He gets Stephen Bola for P11. Gets him perfectly. But doesn't look like Stephen is done just yet, as he's trying to come through. Meanwhile, Tazwanto and Marlon Young side by side for the moment. You see the Canadian and Adam trying to follow through. Marlon Young chasing down that BMW, wanting to get this move done. Tries to put the power down early. You can even see Adam so desperate to try to get ahead as well, cannot get it done. And there you see the last couple of drivers in the background just following through. Meanwhile, Joshua slides it for the moment there, just about saves it. Bola runs deep. He also saves it as well. Rear pack is looking very well as all the drivers ahead are separated by a second. But great racing here in this mid-pack, that's for sure. Okayama giving us a race to not forget. Adam here as he tries to chase down Marlon Young. So you have a position being made. Enzo makes a mistake, allows the Mercedes to go through, and probably another car to go through. Joshua looks for a move on the Ferrari as he chases him down. Oliver Blodge takes it to the pits as Joshua dives it down, and Bola tries to follow through into the hairpin section. A solid place to get the move done. Joshua's able to go through on Enzo. But unfortunately, Bola's just getting a bit unlucky in that same section. These drivers are really having fun out here as Bola dives it down the inside of Enzo. Enzo, switchback, gets back the position through the hairpin section. Bola, the Guyanese, does not give up. Side by side, up the hill once again. Enzo, how can he fight back? Has to tuck back in. The Guyanese will go through the P12. Wrestles his way through in that Audi. Marlon Young a little bit wide there in corner exit. Looks to try to have a chance. Meanwhile, Adam chases him down. As you see that BMW tries to make it 3 wide. Oh, contact is made. And Tazwanto's been sent off the track. Marlon Young makes contact with him. It looked like at least maybe Tazwanto may have touched the inside, turned in on him by accident. Looked like both cars are straight. Will have to be reviewed, that's for sure. Nonetheless, though, a messy overtake in this one, that's for sure. Oh, and Ian trouble for him, and he hits the wall hard. What has happened to him? Probably a stuck throttle, but that's going to be cataclysmic damage onto that BMW. Not surprised he's taking it to the pits. Trouble for Ian in his debut race. That's very unfortunate for him, but hopefully he can get that car repaired and whatever he can fix in the internals of his sim rig, that would be very crucial to get back out there. Meanwhile, Peter Sabot leads this race off about 1.4 ahead of Sven, who is still keeping him company. Both of them are fighting for P2 in this championship. As it stands right now, Peter's got the upper hand. Santos is also up the order, P3. It's Audi and then Lambo to complete your podium. Evan, P4 in that Ford, looking for another great result for him in this championship. P5 goes to Martin Webster as it stands right now, looking pretty good. Behind him, though, longtime rival Danny Nassir, he's P6, Klaus Klint. 7th position in the McLaren, P8, Tasayaki and Dominic, P9. So both cars, identical liveries, are going to be fighting for each other, but no teammates between each other. They're just in the same looking car. I don't blame them. It's a very nice looking car, that's for sure. But as we see Dominic, the American, going at it against the Polish driver. Nose to tail into the hairpin section. What can he do? Remember, if you're enjoying the action, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on course for 900 subscribers. This is what Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club is all about. You're not going to get better GT3 racing at all. And a special thank you to the Racing Rats for allowing us to use these fantastic mods, as you get to see this amazing racing here as Dominic goes down the inside and switches to the outside, gets the move done beautifully. Dominic goes up to P8. Remember, he outbroke himself fighting against Webster for P5, so he is just wanting to cut up through the field as soon as possible. He comes around the final corner, looks very well. P10, Joshua Steinberg, he's in the points here for the first time. Meanwhile, Danny Nassir and Klaus side by side. Klaus Klint up to P6. Danny's been relegated. However, Klaus goes a little bit wide on corner exit. Momentum here for Danny Nassir as he chases down the Valhalla driver, the Viking, who celebrated a birthday recently. Once again, an amazing gift of possibly getting a top 5 in this championship. Meanwhile, we also see the Aston Martin starting to close up this gap against the Ford. X-Play has not been too quick in this championship. However, one thing's for sure. Martin Webster, any opportunity he can get to fight, he will. Can't say the same for his teammate as it stands right now. He is a little bit far behind as Adam touches the grass there on the outside, sends his car into the gravel. That's not going to help his case. He's going to lose a position, a couple positions, as you see Casper Krogsgaard trying to go through in the Mercedes, cannot get it done. Meanwhile, Joshua tries to fight for the points as Bola goes through. And Sven takes the fastest lap of the race. As we watch, Joshua now looks to the inside, tries to. Cannot get it done. Bola sticks ahead in P10, Joshua P11. As we continue down the order, we also have Krogsgaard continuing to chase down the BMW of and Adam. It's your battle for P13 as Marlon Young is just up the road and still in touching distance for an Adam. Adam's so close to last year's DTM Caribbean leg. That was a very good championship. And Adam was so close. He had a dominant win streak, so Adam is very familiar with battling these kind of drivers, especially Marlon Young. These two drivers were your main ones to watch in that DTM championship, so very nice to see them back racing and battling on track. The rivalry is still on between them. As we watch them on the back straight, looks like the Aston Martin is looking pretty quick as you see blue flags there for Ian as he lets out for those two just up the road. But they're looking pretty good, as well as Enzo is continuing to chase down now. This time, Joshua Steinberg, two Ferraris against each other. Bola just ahead. This is your battle for 10th position. Also, we have Dominic as he's caught up to his next driver in line, Danny Nassir, as Evan Steinberg heads it into the pits, side by side for 7th position. Dominic Mazuzzo on the front straight, chasing down Danny Nassir. What can we see here? Heading into turn 1. Swings it around the outside, trying to use as much space as possible. And cannot get it done. As we continue to watch this one, we also have a move in the back here as Enzo and Adam close together. Adam through, Enzo trying to go through the Mercedes, dives it down, and both of them in contact. The Mercedes dives it maybe a little too prematurely. Has to wait. As you see Evan just going through, he's already made his pit stop. Need to be a bit more patient there. If he wanted to that move to be done there. Enzo looks to challenge Anderson Baiano. Meanwhile, Dominic still looking for a move. He's chasing him down very hard. Nose to tail. Here we go. Meanwhile, battle for the lead is coming up very shortly. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. That gap has gone to a second. As these two drivers still very close together. Dominic still trying to find a move. Meanwhile, we also have some trouble here as looks like Joshua Steinberg gets it wrong, unfortunately, and drops down a heap of positions. Going to go down to potentially P14 almost. Enzo fighting, trying to get this move done side by side. Two Ferraris very close. Enzo gets through. Joshua relegated down. Nose to tail looks to try to fight back. Enzo has left some space open. Big chance here. See what he can do. Unfortunately, cannot get it done this time around. Joshua, though, inside line, though. And Enzo goes through. 13th position for him. And meanwhile, gaps at the front are getting closer. But we still have a couple battles to watch back here. Anderson Baiano looks to fight Marlon Young. Incredible racing, that's for sure. As these guys are having such a fun time in this mid-pack. Meanwhile, Danny Nasir, a very good job at holding himself off against Dominic Mazzuzzo, delaying his progress, that's for sure, as they all chase down that lap car just up ahead. That's Edge Ruben Ryan. Ruben Ryan just gets out the way. It's trouble for Klaus up the road. Gets it wrong, hits the wall. And now Danny Nasir goes to 5th. Rear end stepping out. That's for sure. But eventually, we're going to tune to this battle here. The gap has opened up quite a bit. It was 8/10 a moment ago, but Sven and Peter Sabot, two of them are fighting very hard. Special livery for Sven, so they're going to have a fun race out here. We're going to return back to them once their gap gets a little bit closer. Meanwhile, Tazayaki, Clint, trying to fight hard. Clint has dropped down a couple of positions, was 5th, now 8th, trying to get P7. As that stands, we still have this amazing battle. And let's go to the sky and let's watch this battle. Marlon Young, Anderson Baiano, Enzo, Joshua, and Evan. Battle for 11th. Incredible fighting here. As you see Marlon Young just trying to hold off. Oh, in trouble for Enzo. He gets it wrong. Faces the wall there. As we see Marlon Young and Anderson Baiano. Great shot here as that Ford is starting to close up that gap. Heading into T1 once again. As you see side by side, Evan and Joshua, these are brothers, So a great sibling rivalry, and the younger one shows the older one how it's done. Evan goes up to 13th position. He's already made his pit stop. He's fighting for a top spot here. Let's go to our battle up here as Dominic tries to get this move done. Round the outside, Danny Nasir still holding on for P5. Gaps open though, a little open. Can't get done there. What a fight this is turning out to be for 5th position. Lots of battles to watch. Dominic really trying to fight back for 5th position. Door was just open for a sec. Danny closes it. Danny Nasir having a great race out here in that McLaren. It's been very strong, but the Mercedes is really putting the pressure on. So close. Nose to tail, almost making contact, but because of that awkward line, Danny's gonna have a lot better momentum as they head into 1. Meanwhile, we watch this battle here as we have Evan now looking to get a move on his fellow Mustang just up the road. Tries to look to get the move done. Meanwhile, Danny Nasir and Dominic Mazzucco even closer this time. 4/10 the difference. And wish we had split screen like we did in the past, because there's so much action to watch here at Okayama. This Japanese Grand Prix finale is really giving us an amazing watch, that's for sure. As they go down the back straight, meanwhile, we look back to this battle here. Steinberg, Baiano, nose to tail. Does Steinberg look for a dive down the inside? Looks for it, cannot get it done, has to avoid contact, looks to the outside, makes his car as wide as possible. Gonna say, you're gonna take the inside, I'll take the outside. Just want to drive through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Very unfortunate. But here comes Evan Steinberg, looks to go side by side with Anderson Baedo on the tightest part of the track. Still side by side. Can Steinberg hold off? Onto the inside, gets it done! Steinberg to 12th. We look back at this battle, and it's contact! Danny Nasir makes contact with Dominic. Did the both of them collide with each other? And Danny Nasir runs down the order. We didn't see it live. Cannot make a call out there. That's very unfortunate for Danny Nasir. He takes it straight to the pits. Having a great battle there. Was there contact? I really hope there wasn't. That's going to be a penalty for Dominic if there is contact. We want clean racing. And if there was contact, the drivers have to give back the position. So the fact that Dominic was trying to slow down and went through, looks like for the moment there that Danny may have made a mistake. Nonetheless though, 28 minutes left to go. Danny can still catch up back from that mistake. As we see now, Marlon Young against Steinberg, and side by side now as that Mustang is so powerful around here in Japan. As he slipstreams him, looks to the outside. Marlon Young not gonna let off without a hard fight. Nose to tail, you see how close they get through that section. Very tight between each other. I agree, hopefully no penalty either. Last thing we want is races to be decided on penalties, race positions to be decided on penalties. That's for sure. But we want clean racing, that's for sure. Nose to tail here as Evan still trying to get this move done. Remember, he's one of the first drivers to make their pit stop. So being stuck in this traffic is not going to help you out. That's for sure. Into T1. Tries to get the move going. Meanwhile, Klaus Klint and Taziaki battle for P6. Incredible racing, as we say. Meanwhile, we also have Evan, who's still closing up this gap. We're watching all the gaps here. Tazwanto gets his drive-through taken. Evan side by side with Marlon. Chance for P10. Best chance he's got. Side by side. And looks like the Mustang
Might be able to get through. Neck and neck. Meanwhile, Baiano just behind them. Evan has to send it, and he does so. Too much sauce, and Evan almost runs off the track, but will lose out on Marlon Young. Almost loses out on Baiano, and that would have been trouble for him. So a little too much there from Evan Steinberg. Andrew just ahead has blue flags. Needs to get out the way. This mid-pack has really been the carry of this live stream here. But I can assure you, those leaders are looking very close together. We're looking at that top two. So Ruben Orion lets out blue flags, has to get out the way, and he does so. A bit of a better run there from the Mustang, but unfortunately not able to catch up and overtake Marlon Young. Marlon also had a birthday recently and really enjoyed his birthday present of watching the action of Indy, and now to be a part of the action, I know he's having a lot of fun in there, no matter what position he's making. Oh, in trouble for Evan. Does he save it? Yes, he does. What happened? The rear end just caught him out of nowhere, and all his progress has been reverted. He goes down a position. Meanwhile, Klaus and Casper also making moves with each other. But that is huge. That is honestly what you get when you pit early. You get stuck in this traffic. Pitting early may not be the gamble you want sometimes. Meanwhile, your race leader has entered the pit lane. That is Peter Sabot leaving Sven out in clear air to allow himself some laps to see if he could stay ahead and potentially overcut. So that is very unfortunate for Evan. But that's what happens pitting early. That's that risk. You want to pit earlier than everyone else, but unfortunately, you're going to get caught up in traffic like that. So Sabot comes back out on track in P4. Luckily, he has not been caught in any battles, so he's got some clear air in front of him, has some lap traffic not too far. Meanwhile, Baiano takes it to the pits. And he comes in for his mandatory tire change pit stop. If you're loving the action, GT3 comes to an end today, but in 2 weeks' time, we start our Formula 1 Championship. If you want to get a part of that championship for F1, join our Discord right now and get signed up. Sign-ups are open. They are up. And if you want to get a part of the action, you got to, because you're missing some fantastic racing like this. But hey, we completely understand if you want to watch it from the sidelines. Sven into the pits. So that means Santos will take the lead of this one. Webster should be taking P2. But our fight we're watching is Peter Sabot. Remember, these two were fighting very hard. But here we go as we watch battle for net race lead. Look at the pit exit. There is the Lamborghini. He cannot hold ahead. So game is on, but look how close the fight is. It's less than a second. Your net race lead right here, Peter Sabot and Sven Verksted battle for second in this championship. This is Sven's best opportunity to put all the pressure on, now with fresher tires, but colder because Peter's already got a lap warmer than him. So let's see how this one turns out. And he's already opened up that gap there, 610s. Pit lane is looking busy as well. A couple more drivers entering in. Lap traffic could still make the difference between these drivers here as well. Don't forget about that. But this is it, battle for your net race lead between these two. They've made their pit stop, so game on to the very end. Peter a little bit wide there, 610 still the difference there. Two different lines as they head into the hairpin sections. But looks like that Audi is a lot better on corner exits, and Peter's a lot more confident in his setup of the car. Round the final corner, and Santos makes his mandatory pit stop, as well as Casper. He also goes in, so they all shuffle up to second place and third place. with Martin Webster leading this one. Of course, still needs to make his pit stop. But Sven is losing some time against Peter. It is not helping his case. Needs to start to close up this gap. Remember, these two drivers are fighting for the race win and for P2 in this championship. P1 has already been sorted out, but every point matters as we get into the playoffs of this championship in November. Every point matters. The top 10 drivers with the most points tallied throughout the entire year of 2025 will qualify for Race of Champions 25. But there you see Sven, now a second as Andrew Ryan drive through for cutting the circuit, and that is unfortunate for him. His day is going from bad to worse. He's already down in P17, so not too many people to fight with. This battle still dances within a second, just about. But not exactly, as you see, I think that's Webster heading into the pits, and he does. Oh, over the curb a little violently. So Webster makes his pit stop, so these two drivers get shuffled back up to P1 and P2, and their battle continues. Meanwhile, we also have another battle here as Marlon Young and Joshua Steinberg go side by side, almost door-to-door contact between them. Joshua trying to get this move done on Marlon Young, a championship winner previously, but he runs a little too deep, and Joshua will go through. Marlon, however, will tuck right back in for the slipstream, looks to the outside, takes to the inside, slipstreaming, tries to look for a move. That Aston Martin, very powerful, has the momentum, heads into the hairpin section, side by side. Marlon Young, for the moment, looks to have got it done, but that Ferrari is peeking his way back to the outside. Can he sweep around? No, he cannot. Joshua will have to settle down for now in P14. Oh, in trouble for them. Marlon Young runs a little bit off the track. Meanwhile, P1, P2 separated by half a second as well. We'll switch to that in a second. As they're actually behind this battle, as Peter Sabot, side by side, Sven gets the inside. Sven takes the lead of the race. First, he takes the lead. Peter Sabot brakes too early. Gets his braking zone wrong. And a new race leader has been established. Traffic up the road, though, for them. This is absolutely huge, as we also have Tsuwanto off the track. And this could be scary if you're the race leader. He's caught up. Contact is made. Oh, no, that is trouble. Sven makes contact with that back marker there. Peter Sabot with a chance. And Sven having to back off just a little bit still, side by side. Sven will hold on to the lead, though. Slipstream engaged for the Audi. They still have lap traffic ahead of them. Marlon Young gets right out the way for them. The right thing to do. Joshua Steinberg has to do the same as well. Nose to tail, the race leaders are. We watch from the sky on the drone cam. Battle for the race lead. And I'll say Sven is very lucky to hold on to the lead. Joshua gets right out the way. Marlon Young, not close enough to get a chance. Ruben Ride also out the way for the race leaders. But Evan, as he tries to catch up, he is still P5. He's about 8 seconds behind. Sabot, he is 5/10 behind your race leader. Battle for the race win. We haven't seen Sven in a battle for the race win in the last round. We haven't seen Peter for the race win in the last round either. He was the dominant race winner in that one. But this time, Peter's got a little bit of competition on his hands. A hard battle here between your race leaders. And Baiano gets through on the BMW for P11. But this is the main one we're watching on our screens here. And this is where Okayama really shines. The layout around here gives us some amazing racing on the back straight, heading into the braking zone. A lot more confident on the brakes is the Audi as it heads into the hairpin section. You see how close the gap starts to tighten up between each other. That Lamborghini is still holding on, though, perfectly. But Peter is not going to let off on this pressure. Two drivers are going to be very, very quick with each other. Sven, this is his last race for Escape Racing, and I think Escape will love a P2 finish in this championship. Sven will be joining Mike Van Dorn in the 2025 Formula One World Championship coming up in 2 weeks' time. So in his last race of Escape Racing, he's going to want a big result. Peter Sabot wants to go 2 for 2. He wants to put his name on the top for a reason. He wants to be the next driver to beat. He was able to dominate in front of everyone at Indy. As these two still neck and neck, still putting in some amazing lap times. 20 concurrent viewers, thank you so much for tuning in this week out to Caribbean Motor Racing Sim Club. If you're loving the action, hit that subscribe button because you're not getting better racing anywhere like this. This is the place to be and the place to watch for GT3 racing in sim racing. Last lap for Sven, it was a 28.2. 4-0. Peter's last lap, 28.287. So basically neck and neck for their lap times as we head into the next braking zone here of the hairpin. And Peter is starting to struggle a little bit. He's losing about a 10th or so. And thank you so much there, best commentator. Hope you're enjoying the action. I am feeling a little bit under the weather here for a moment. So, but less excuses from me. We're still having fun out here. Traffic up the road for the race leaders. This one's going to be crucial. We have Ian there just up the road. He's been very kind with lap traffic, so he should be able to get out the way and does so. Let's get right off this action here. Let's go on board. As I believe that is an Adam, I think, and Baiano. Yes, it is. So, another battle where two drivers are fighting hard with each other. We've seen it time and time again in the past, where battles for position ahead of leaders could slow down the competition. So, this Audi of Peter Sabot has to be pretty smart when it comes to overtaking here. 4/10 the difference in slipstream engaged on the back straight. Meanwhile, here you see Adam looking to the inside, gets it done, side-by-side maneuver. Still going on here. That BMW trying to hold off to hold this position. Baiano's having none of it. Gets back through for P11. Here we go. This one could be very interesting for the race leader. Adam has to get out the way, and he does so. Peter goes through as well. Just Baiano to go through. Baiano knows, has to let off this part of the track. Gets through. Race leader goes through. Oh, in trouble! And Peter Sabot makes contact! Oh, no! And that is huge for Peter Sabot! Gets caught up! Tried to follow through, and that's exactly what would have happened if they got too close with lap traffic. No fault of anyone there. Miscommunication. Peter Sabot tried to go for a gap. He needed to, but the gap has just been let through. Oh, and that's trouble. Who is that? That was Baiano once again, and Ian George. As you also see Marlon Young and Joshua Steinberg fighting off. Oh, look at that. What a save there over the curb. But Sven will go through in the lead. Take this one. Oh, 12 seconds. Oh, Baiano, more trouble for him. He's got a lot of damage, looks like, maybe on the rear end, because that rear is not sticking at all. We can take our breathers though, but definitely not the ending to a battle we wanted, that's for sure. But Peter needed to stay with him. They were both doing identical lap times. Peter needed to do everything it took. Unfortunately, maybe too much of a risky move to get through. As we see Marlon Young just struggling to hold on to his Aston Martin. 11 minutes, 33 seconds left to go. Meanwhile, Santos starts to close the gap on Peter Sabot. This could be a Lambo 1-2 at this point. This podium very much undecided on where everyone's going to finish. Absolute goosebumps here at Okayama. Meanwhile, Klaus Klint, Stephen Bola, battle for P9, and you also see the leader catching up to him. They have to let through. Bola goes deep. Bit of a lockup. There you see a bit of smoke coming out. Klaus lets through the race leader for the moment. Yes, he does, so he's good. And Klaus is going to follow the race leader now, and he's going to try to catch Steven by surprise, because Steven's going to have to get off his racing line to let through the race leader. So, Sven, following very close. Last thing he wants is a bit of contact with lap traffic. And there you see down the inside goes the race leader, and a bit of contact almost. Looks like the rear end did slip away from him. But Klaus right back on him. We have some trouble for Casper as Baiano goes through up to P14. Meanwhile, Klaus in the McLaren trying to chase down Bola. 10 minutes left to go in this final race here for the Japanese Grand Prix. Steven on the inside, a little too much sauce, locks up the inside tire. And that McLaren really close now for a chance for a move. Can he get this one done? Nose to tail. Oh, and more trouble, and Steven runs off the track. He's been missing a lot of braking points, so I'm not too sure if he may have flat spotted his tires. Nonetheless, though, he loses out. Klaus goes to 9th. Re-return up here to a fan favorite in the chat, as Dominic finally catches up to P5, the position that he was once fighting for. And he's got Evan Steinberg, and these two may have a really good fight on our hands. 7/10 the difference. As they start to close up, we still have another battle here as Casper, after making that mistake, he wants to get right back up here as he's challenging Anderson Baiano in that Ford. Slipstream engaged, looks to the inside of the hairpin. Needs to brake now at the 100-meter marker. Very deep, gets the move done though. So Krogsgaard goes to 14th position. Meanwhile, we head back up to this battle. Dominic chasing down Evan. Two drivers who will not give up, that's for sure. We've seen Evan throughout this championship, and Dominic, in only 2 races, has really piqued our interest. Oh! Little contact there, a slap in the rear of Evan. And we go on board with them. Both of them got a bit of damage to each other throughout this whole race. Ooh, into the grass. Cannot be in the grass and braking, that's for sure. You saw what happens when you break into the grass. You look back with Adam early on, getting it all wrong. And Dominic really trying to push very hard in his Mercedes as he tries to catch up. Just up the road, though, we also see, I think that's Enzo, just lapping the BMW of Ian, and he gets through. So now, battle for P5 still very much underway. But that gap is just about opening up. Looks like that Ford has been able to hit its marks. And Evan Steinberg is able to open up the gap just a little bit. 1.1 the difference. And so far, this is our closest battle we have on track. And so far, I think our only retirement at the moment is Oliver Bloch very, very early on in this race. Let's go through the order. Let's go down here. Ian George in his debut race, unfortunately not able to hit the marks here, and really is trying to find his footing around here in this league and feeling, you know, the competition out. Andrew Narayan as well, also not having the best of races here today, having to play second fiddle and lap traffic. Next up, Tazwanto had a good early start to this one, but a couple too much mistakes, and having contact with Marlon Young did not help his case, had too much damage, had to pull his car over into the pits, get that repaired, and costed him a lot of time. Enzo, P16, fresh new livery for this final race, unfortunately not able to use it to his advantage. As you see up the road, that is your battle for P5. We'll catch up to them in just a moment's time. Anderson Baiano, P15, the Brazilian, has had some great battles throughout this race. He's been having a lot of fun, that's for sure. He's currently sitting P15. P14, Kasper Krogsgaard has a handful of damage on that car, trying to limp this one back home. He's P14. 13th position, Joshua Steinberg. Him and P12, Marlon Young, have been having a really good battle between each other. And as we continue racing here, we also look up at this battle here as Bola and Adam also start to fight. This is P11 and P10 as they battle hard with each other. There you see side by side, and the Audi gonna go through, but can he hold on to the brakes this time? Just about, but Adam onto the inside. But it's been swapped to the outside. Bola to the inside this time. And Steven is going to hold on to 10th position. And can they keep it held on to the back straight? Both of them go very deep, but looks like Bola's going to hold on. Klaus P9 in the points as well, in the McLaren. He's trying to chase down this man, Danny Nasir, and the other fellow McLaren. Debut race here for Kasper Taziaki. He's also had a fantastic showing out here in his debut. Can't wait to see what his finishing position will be. This battle, though, is the closest one we're going to be watching here. Probably until the very end of this one. Dominic Maruzzo versus Evan Steinberg. Battle for 5th position. With 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in this race. Who will finish 5th position? Mercedes against Mustang. Who's it going to be? On the back straight, once again. 5 tenths, and it starts to open up. Let's look at the rest of the drivers through this order. So Evan, also fantastic race. Early pit stop, caught in traffic, and you gotta wonder if he was not caught in traffic, would he even be in this predicament, or would he be fighting for P4 against Martin Webster? Speaking of Webster, he is P4. Best finish in this championship, best finish of 2025. If he can keep this one alive. Daniel Santos, he's 5 seconds behind Peter Sabot with a handful of damage on his car. Daniel's pushing very hard, but as it stands, podium is in sight for him. Peter Sabot fighting for the race lead earlier on, but unfortunately getting it all wrong with a back marker, trying to hustle through the stick with the race leader. Sven Verkstig, maybe not the battle he wanted to win in that kind of way, but he knows he wants to win this battle. That's for sure, in any way possible. Back to this battle here, and we're going to stick with this one. Steinberg is still holding on to P5. Defends the inside. Mercedes is going to put the power down a little early on as he continues to push here. Inside lot, a better apex for the Mercedes. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in this one. Anything and everything can still go down here. Who is it going to be to finish 5th position? 5 tenths. Just to do it. Back straight once again for these two. What a championship run this has been for all these drivers as Dominic looks to the inside and he takes it. Looks for an opportunity here. Evan, defensive now, has the inside line. Dominic, can he round it out the outside? Still side by side, Dominic rounds it out. Can he hold on? Yes, he can. But Evan still into the inside. Can he pull a move? No, he can't. Dominic to 5th. 2 minutes left to go. Caught him. Caught Evan slipping One apex miss there. And Owen Evans gonna take it to the pits, possibly. Oh, trouble, hits the wall. Why is Evan making his pit stop again? He's already made a pit stop early on in this race. Has he not have enough fuel to the end? And that is huge. P5 down the drain 4. Maybe those tires have gone up. One thing's for sure, Dominic takes 5th position. Hell of a fight there. Had to keep the pressure on and did. Evan eventually cracked out of it. Now, what can we say for the rest of this order? What could that be the championship still in play? Because remember, Peter Sabot still up there as well. Meanwhile, as we watch this one here, battle for P6. As you see this McLaren now chasing down a similar looking Mercedes that we watched earlier. Taziaki just up the road against Danny Nasir. But 38 seconds left to go. We have 2 more laps. Should be 2 laps to go from this one. Ooh, trouble. Marlon Young faces the wrong way. That is not good at all. He sees his teammate go past him, 4th position, but Marlon Young was fighting against Joshua Steinberg, and Joshua will go through. P11 will have himself a freebie there. 8 seconds left, and that is it. There'll be 1 extra lap after this one, and you got to pay attention to the top of your screen. There'll be a checker flag waved on the leaderboard. Just ignore that. But 2 laps to go for Sven. When he crosses the line, it'll be 1 more to go. Sven has already won his maiden race at the Bathurst 12-hour virtual. And Sven looks to be doing it again here in Japan. Comes around the final corner, and 1 more lap to do it in the championship. Santos wanting to close this gap. It's 3.7 against Peter Sabot. He's got 1 more lap to do it, but 2 cars between them. Make that 1 more car, actually, because that BMW's just got out the way. And that's Evan Steinberg. Will he take P2 in this championship? Active calculations are going on for it to see if he will. Well, what a race it has been. That's for sure. But as we come around here, as we watch here, Sven around the final couple of corners, we still have a couple battles to watch. Here we see Danny Nasir still chasing hard, but as it stands right now, Sven will take P2 by 1 point in this championship. Danny Nasir still chasing hard against Casper, but we switch to this man here. Sven Verkstee has won at Bathurst, but this time he's gonna get another race win under his belt. A hard fight against Peter Sabot. Not only will this win allow him to get another race win in CMRSC, he goes to 2nd place in the championship. The final round of the championship here in Japan goes to Sven. He takes victory. The Dutchman will take the race win here at Okayama. Peter Sabot, unlucky with traffic, but will come across the line nonetheless, will finish 2nd position. What a race this has truly been. Santos won't be able to catch up in time. But what a fight. Truly it has been. Looking for Danny Nasir as he's side by side. Oh, actually no, their race is already done, looks like. It looks like they're still racing, but yeah, they finished already, but that's your top 3. As they all come across the line, Sven will take home an incredible result there. Now, also to mention, qualifying is also being calculated for, but that, with qualifying points as well, doesn't matter. Sven, P2 in the championship, 85 points. Andy Rees did not take part, 84. Peter Sabot, 81. as Sven celebrates here today. He's your race winner in a fantastic showcase. What a fight, what a race, what action, what a championship. Hell of a race between all these drivers here. 2 weeks time, Formula One for Bahrain. Let's congratulate our top 3. Fantastic final race to everyone here. Amazing, incredible. Everyone here had an amazing battle to watch. So much action. One of the best races, maybe the best race of the championship. First and foremost, before we get into interviews, thank you so much for all the support in this championship, for racing with us every Saturday for 8 weeks in a row. It's been fantastic. So thank you so much for an amazing championship. And we now sign it off here. Let's go get into our top 3 here, starting with our man in P1. Let me see if I can drag you up here. Sven,
hello.
You take P1. How was that race for you?
Well, very unexpected, to be honest. I didn't expect to have this pace, to be honest. In the qualifying, I was thinking about getting like a 28.3 or so, and then I got my first 27. And in the race, I expected Peter to just run away with it, but I'm very happy that I kept up with him, and probably got him a bit on the pit. I think I pitted a bit quicker than he did. And yeah, I'm very happy about it.
That was true emotion, especially that hard-fought battle. Take us through the moments where, during the pit stop phases and coming out of it, you were just under a second from him, about 3 to 5 tenths, and it was all about just chasing hard. Take us through that moment and how the move for the race lead was made.
Well, getting into the pit, it was I was very confident that it was going to be a quick pit stop, and getting out of the pit stop, I was hoping to be alongside. Sadly, I was slightly behind, and my tires were a bit cold since getting out of the pit. And all I was just focusing on is just not losing him. And at the end, I guess that worked. I'm not sure what happened to him when I overtook him. It might be like a lag spike or so that he had. Or maybe on my end like a ping problem. But I saw he was like slowing down a bit.
Nonetheless, though, you take P1 in this race. Got more good news for you. Your team takes P2 in the team standings, and you take P2 in the driver's standings. That's got to feel pretty great, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's very nice. I'm also happy for my teammate.
Indeed, indeed. Next championship coming up, F1. How are you feeling about it? GT3 is now done and dusted. We get into something completely different. How confident are you feeling as you head into the next season?
Not confident at all. I'm very new to F1 cars, and yeah, it's gonna be tough for me.
Well, he's got 2 weeks of practice, and if there's anything, it's not to give up on Sven, because no matter what, you're always finding yourself battling very hard throughout any order. So big congratulations to you, a massive race win. Congratulations on it, and for P2 in the championship.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna drag you back down to the other guys, and we're gonna talk to our man in P2. Let's get him up here. There we go. Peter just sent you the invite. Peter, wow. Incredible fight there. Unfortunately, a bit of tangled up with the back markers and lost a chance to fight for the race lead at the end, but a dominating showcase at the early stages of this race here, Peter. Take it away, man. How was that race for you?
It was super exciting. I was very unfortunate to get tangled up with, I believe it was Andrew. I was not expecting him to take the racing line away from me there, and I could just not avoid him. congrats to Sven. He did an absolutely amazing racing. He was pretty consistent. To be honest, he would have had me by the end anyways, because I had ran out of fuel. I had to coast through the start finish. Almost Santos got me as well. So yeah, that was a close one.
Wow. Coming to the pit stop phases as well. I mean, you did take your pit stop before Sven, but it was just coming out of the pits where he did come up close to you. Was it a bit of a slow outlap after that pit stop phase, or was Sven quicker than you from there? And how did you feel just able to hold on to the lead at that stage?
You know what? I knew that I'm not good at pitting, so I was hoping I could actually stay in front of him. I think I had a pretty traffic-free lap, so I tried to push as hard as I can. And I just saw him rolling out of the pits right as I'm reaching the end of the start-finish. But I knew he wouldn't have the tires to take that turn quick. So, yeah. Unfortunately, what happened is the way I got passed during the race is that I accidentally hit the pit limiter on my steering, and by the time I realized what was going on, it cost me the lead. So that's what had happened. He was wondering what happened. I also gotta say sorry to Evan for holding him up. He didn't realize that I was short shifting and saving fuel there, so I kind of ruined his race. I tried to let him go, but he just stayed behind me. Sorry about that.
Well, nonetheless, though, it's a little bit unfortunate that you did get caught up with those back markers there, but you still had yourself a fantastic race nonetheless. F1 coming up in 2 weeks. How you feeling about it? How confident are you with the new cars?
I'm in the same shoes as Sven. I never really driven those. I'll have to miss the first race anyways. I'll be traveling, but I'll try to join for a couple of them, see what it's like.
Can't wait to see what you can do out there, Peter. Congratulations. An amazing championship for you. You finished the championship in 4th position. So 4 races completed for you in P4. That's not bad at all. Congratulations. Fantastic result for you there.
Thank you very much, and thanks for doing this for us, man. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much. But the show is done by you guys, and amazing battles, that's for sure. Especially with both of you at the front. Incredible fight to watch, that's for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll put you back through the order there, and we'll talk to our man in 3rd position, who just invited you now. Daniel, that was a pretty interesting race there. You had a little bit of a quiet one at some stages, but you still had a good race nonetheless. Daniel, take it away. How was that one for you?
Yeah, like you said, it was kind of boring. Nothing really happened apart from the first lap, where I was trying to keep up, yet didn't happen. The 2 guys ahead of me are just way too quick and got way more experience than me, so kind of normal. Well, I just did my race, didn't get a DTP this time, which I'm pretty happy for.
That's good, yeah.
And yeah, kind of a boring one, but good one nonetheless.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, heading into this championship, you know, you're one of our newest drivers here, but you've already faced off against some of our quickest drivers. I mean, how are you liking the environment around here?
Pretty fun people to race against, especially around Indy last time around. I just wish that the same people that were there before were here again, so I didn't have such a boring race. Yeah, pretty chill around here. Liking the environment so far, and yeah, pretty clean racing from everyone.
Same question from the last 2 drivers. Formula 1 coming up. Open wheel racing, first of all, are going to be taking part, and second, if you are, how confident are you feeling transitioning into F1?
I'm just not gonna answer that because it's gonna be the same answer as the 2 other ones. I never drove the cars. I don't have any experience on them, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, nonetheless, though, it's been fantastic having you, and even if it was for just a couple rounds, we've seen what you're made of here in GT racing, and you're still gonna get more GT racing after F1, but I'm very interested to see what you top 3 can do. But nonetheless, Daniel, a great podium, great top 3. Congratulations on P3 in this one.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it. Once again, thank you so much for an incredible championship. This has been 8 weeks of racing. Incredible effort to our drivers who've been here from round 1, round 2, or even if this is your first or second race. We're very grateful to have you racing with us. And to all the viewers, we've had a peak of 2022 concurrent viewers. So a lot of people watching this fantastic race. Up next, we have F1. Trailers coming out soon, but at least on the stream side, you can see the poster is already shown out there. Formula 1 is coming up from March 8th to April 12th. Round 1, we head into Bahrain. Round 2, Albert Park in Australia will be the same race weekend as the real-life Australian Grand Prix. Round 3, we head to Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. Round 4, Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Round 5 is Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and the finale we head to Abu Dhabi. Server will be up right away. You can check out the announcement channel for the other details and the F1 channel, championship channel, to sign up. Sign-ups are live right now. Get in on it as soon as possible if you want to get in on this championship. Should be fun. But in terms of GT3, that's that for the year. We're going to return to GT racing after the championship, so look forward to it after April 12th. That's going to be our next one, and remember, it's a certain spec series manufacturer, so should be a fun one nonetheless, and that's going to be for GT racing nonetheless. So thank you so much once again. An amazing championship, great racing, and huge shout out to the Racing Rats. This championship would have been done without you and your amazing team of modding, giving us some amazing machines and mods to race with here in this championship. So I'm going to go end off the stream now. You guys are free to enter into the lounge chat if you do want to stick around, but we're going to get started with the next server right away. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Next week is a break week, so have a fun Saturday, and then in 2 weeks' time we return. Remember, March 8th for round 1 of the championship. Can't wait to see you there. Thank you so much for an amazing championship. Wow, an incredible one. But there you see it on your screens there. Formula 1 comes up very, very soon. The 2025 CMRSC Formula 1 World Championship comes your way March 8th. If you want to get on the action, join the Discord right now. Get signed up. Thank you so much for the compliments in chat. Subscribe, like the stream if you haven't already. I hope you enjoyed myself. I'm Rahul Nasir, your founder, your commentator, man behind the scenes here at CMRSC, but the show is not done without the drivers on track every day. Thank you so much for tuning in to an amazing round of this year's edition of the 2025 GT World Challenge powered by the Racing Rats. We will see you, at least for this championship. We'll see it next year. We'll see these cars at the end of the year for one round of GT3 Racing and Race of Champions. When we get to that time, it's a little bit confusing, but we'll take you through the playoffs once we get there in November. As for now, that's it for this one. We'll see you for F1 in 2 weeks.